Okay, so an arithmetic series, is the sum of terms in our arithmetic series. The first n terms of arithmetic series are denoted by Sn. The form Sn can be written in terms of n, a, and d. So basically, for instance, this formula, if I was to say, for instance, that I have a sequence, an arithmetic series 1, 4, 7, 10, okay, all the way up 13. And this is a T1, T2, T3, T4 and T5 respectively. My A value is 1, my D value is 3. And let's say I wanted to figure out what is all 5 of them added up together. So for instance, I know that this is 35 when you add them up together. But let's say I wanted to do it a different way. So I can use the Sn formula. So Sn equals n over 2 bracket 2a, 2 times 1, plus n minus 1 times d, so n minus 1 times 3. And then I'm going to get a formula, and this formula here is going to be n over 2 into 2 plus 3n minus 3. It's going to be n over 2 into 3n minus 1. Okay, n over 2 into 3n minus 1. This formula will give me any number I want for any of the totals of the sequences. So if I wanted to find out what S5 is, I replace n with 5. So I'm going to get 5 over 2 multiplied by 15 minus 1. And then I'm going to get 5 over 2 times 14. And I put that into the calculator, I get 35, which is the expected answer as it's the sum of the first 5. If I wanted to find the sum of the first 2, S2, which is 1 plus 4 is 5, so if I wanted to find out what S2 is, all I have to do is put in my numbers here, replace n with 2, 2 over 2 into 3 times 2 minus 1, and then what you're going to get is 1 into 6 minus 1, which is going to equal 5. Now it's much handier using this formula if you're asked to get all the way up to T100. You're not going to add them all up together. So this is a much faster way. Okay? Now, moving on. The first 3 terms of an arithmetic series are 1 plus 5 plus 9. Find S18. Okay, well, if we take our formula from the last section is n over 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1 times d, close bracket. A equals 1, d equals 4. S18, the sum of the first 18 terms. Okay? So, what we're going to find out is we're going to find out the sum of the first 18 terms. So I'm going to find out what Sn is starting off. So I'm just going to find, using the Sn formula, it's going to be n over 2 into 2a, which is 2, plus n minus 1 times 4. So 4 is d, so that's 4n minus 4. And then what we get here is n over 2 into 4n minus 2. I want to find out what S18 is, so I'm just going to replace n with 18. So it's going to be 18 over 2 multiplied by 4 times 18 minus 2. And what that's going to be is going to be 9 times 72 minus 2 is 70. And that's going to be 630. S18 equals 630. When you add up 1 plus 5 plus 9, all 18 of the first 18 terms, you get 630. Okay, so that's number 3. Now we're on number 6. Okay, the nth term of an arithmetic series is given by 2n plus 3. So Tn equals 2n plus 3. Write down the first 4 terms. So T1 is 2 times 1 plus 3 is 5. T2 is 2 times 2 plus 3, which is 7. T3 is 2 times 3 plus 3, which is 9, and then T4 is going to be 11. So it's 5, 7, 9, and 11. Write down the common difference. Common difference is 2. Find S16, the sum of the first 16 terms. So A is 5, because 5 is the first number, D is 2. So now you go to your Sn formula. Sn equals n over 2 to 2a plus n minus 1 times d. And then what we're going to get is Sn equals n over 2 into 2a, which is 10, plus n minus 1 times d minus 1 times 2. It's going to be n over 2 into, and that's going to be 2n minus 2. So it's going to be 2n plus 8. Multiply it out. Oh, sorry, not multiply it out yet because we need to replace n with 16. So we now have to find out what S16 is. The first 16 terms, S16 is 16 divided by 2. To 2 times 16 plus 8. Then what we're going to get is 8 times 32 plus 8 is 40. And that equals 320. Okay, 320. Now, question 8. In a arithmetic series, the 8th term is 21 and the sum of the first 6 terms is 18. So what this means is that T8 is 21, okay, and S6 equals 18. Find the first term A and the common difference D. Well, let's use the T8 is A plus 7D. A plus 7D equals 21. Let's use the Sn form. Sn is n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. And in this case, Sn equals 6. So S6 equals 6 over 2, which is 3, times 2a. N minus 1 is 5, so 2a plus 5d. And S6 is 18. 18 equals 3 times 2a plus 5d. Divide by 3, and now we get 2a plus 5d equals 6. We have a simultaneous equation. We're going to multiply the top one by minus 2, and we get minus 2a minus 14d equals minus 42. We're going to get 2a plus 5d equals 6. Then what we're going to get is minus 9d equals minus 36. D equals 4. Now if D equals 4, we have to figure out what A is. So 2A plus 5D is 20 equals 6. We have a 20. 2A equals minus 14. A equals minus 7. So it's minus 7 and D is 4. Minus 7 and D equals 4. So A equals minus 7, D equals 4. Okay. Show that Tn equals 4n minus 11. Okay, so Tn is A plus n minus 1 times D. A is minus 7. N minus 1 times D. D is 4, so multiplying by 4 and I'm going to get 4n minus 4. And then I'm going to find out that Tn is 4n minus 11, as proven. Sn is n over 2 into 2a. 2 times a is minus 14, plus n minus 1 times d. And n minus 1 times d is n minus 1 times 4, which is 4n minus 4. And then what we're going to get here is we're going to get n over 2 into 4n minus 18. They're both divisible by 2, so it's going to be n times 2n minus 9, because that's how I'm going to divide this here by 2. And then multiply it out, we're going to get 2n squared minus 9. And that's what Sn is. Now that we've done part 2 there, what's going to happen next is we have to find out what T20 is. Well, T20 means replace n with 20. 4 times 20 minus 11, which is going to be 80 minus 11, which is 69.
Good morning, here's today's announcements. First of all, there's a meeting for any...
Okay, and then the next one is going to be when n is 30. To find out what S30 is, S30 is going to be 2 times 30 squared minus 9. 2 times 900, which is 1800 minus 9. That's going to be 1791.